Wario. He's easily the most disgusting, immoral, and deceptive character to ever be introduced to the Nintendo family. And that's no exaggeration. He will stab you in the back and use you for his own personal gain, without even thinking twice. But why? What motivates a person to be this much of a jerk? How can a person find so much pleasure in harming others? Well, that's what we're hopefully finding out today. So, let's go through the history and life of Wario to see if we can discover why he's such an ass. Just like with any story, we need to start from the beginning. In Wario's case, that would be in the game Yoshi's Island DS. Already, we can see that Wario is prone to throwing temper tantrums and being greedy by stealing things. However, this is actually pretty common with young children, especially in those who feel like they don't get enough attention. They tend to act out. And in this game, baby Wario doesn't get a lot of attention because in his mind, he's competing with 6 other babies that Yoshi has to watch over. Speaking of which, these 7 children are referred to as the Star Children. According to Kamek, they were born with stars, which granted them all an extraordinary amount of power. So already, Wario was born with this feeling of power and dominance. But here's where things get a little sad. At the end of the game, we see Wario and Baby Bowser arguing over a ton of coins. Nothing really out of the blue here. But think about it. It's not exactly clear on whether or not Wario was ever returned to his parents. Remember, Kamek stole all of these children from the stork. Yoshi rescues them all, and at the end of the game, the stork proceeds to return everyone to their rightful homes. We get little images in the credits implying everyone else was returned to their families, but nothing solid for Wario. It's possible that Kamek returned to pick up Wario and raised him to be evil as well, but since Kamek was so focused on raising King Baby Bowser himself, it's also possible that if that were the case, Baby Wario's neglect would continue on. Now let's go a little forward in time. In the Nintendo Power comic, Mario vs. Wario, it is implied that 20 years ago, when the two were children, Mario actually bullied Wario. Yeah. Well, kinda. These two would play bandit and sheriff. Wario would play the bandit, and Mario would play the sheriff. So, naturally, Mario would innocently catch Wario and throw him in jail. This, believe it or not, actually upset Wario because he wasn't winning and getting his way. But can we really fault him for that? I mean, he was never really shown any love or morals growing up. In Mario Power Tennis, it's implied that Wario has a mother somewhere, but she's just as greedy and heartless as Wario, never even throwing him a birthday party of some kind. But back to this. Wario felt attacked. He felt bullied. And as time went on, Mario became more and more popular throughout the Mushroom Kingdom. It's safe to assume Wario felt that this was unjust, and that's completely understandable. Think about school. Who were usually the popular kids? It was usually the bullies, and the people you didn't really like because they were jerks. So in that sense, we can kind of relate with Wario here, even though Mario's bullying was completely unintentional. Now, we fast forward to adulthood. After a childhood of greed, neglect, and injustice, it's time for Wario to exact his revenge. Seriously, he's done so many obscure and unnecessarily complex evil schemes, it's a surprise he's not teaming up with Plankton. He's tried stealing a castle. Okay, a little too ambitious to start out. It didn't really work. In the WarioWare series, Wario sees the profits in the video game market, so he invites a ton of his friends who are very eccentric, smart, and fun to help him make the games. For profit. This is a business strategy. What? Anyway, once the games are a success, Wario steals all the profits and ditches everyone who did all the hard work on the games. Ouch. In the Subspace Emissary, the world is under attack by a mysterious entity known as Taboo. The universe is in danger. But who cares about that when you can just be zapping all of the heroes into trophies for your own personal collection? You dick? Wario is a man of greed and gluttony. He likes to have a lot of materialistic possessions. Money, gold, you name it. Yet, he can never seem to be satisfied with what he has. He always seems to need more. He was always kind of a troubled child growing up, always wanting attention and throwing tantrums. But he never got the attention he needed. And as he grew up, everyone started loving Mario and Luigi. But no one cared about Wario. Wario has felt empty and betrayed throughout his entire life. He's constantly stealing money and treasures in hopes that it could possibly fill the emptiness and the void he's feeling within himself. If you were never shown love by anybody throughout your life, you'll do whatever it takes to get that feeling of fulfillment. Whatever it takes to not feel so empty. But it's not all bad. Wario still has Waluigi, two guys who just relate to one another. And on occasion, Wario has teamed up with Mario and the gang. Is it fair for me to call Wario a jerk? No, it isn't. He's had a very rough life, and until we've walked a mile in his shoes, all we can do is do what we can to make him feel loved. Thanks for sticking around, and remember, give a hug to all the Warios out there. They truly do need it.